gentlemen, the show is about to start.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Sunday Night Call-In with the lads from That Millwall podcast. I'm joined by the man who needs no introduction. He's there every week. We are cracking out these lives, the one and only Stephen. How you doing, fella? You all right?
Yeah, really good, Mickey. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. You recovered from Friday's show? That was a bit hectic.
Well, was it?
It's a bit manic, wasn't it? Comments wise were a bit manic.
Oh,
so,
yeah. I was going to say we were treated by a delightful 1-0 Gareth Southgate inspired win. But yeah, all the comments and everything was great. Obviously, interactions on these have been really, really good, and keep them coming.
Darren's in first, or using a secret one. Hello, Melvin. Hello, Gaza. You're giving Gaza a couple of promos this week, haven't we, for his He'll nick some of his photos and put them on our Instagram as well, and driving people back to your Twitter account as well, Gaz. So hopefully that works. Numbers are going up. Where are we? Was there no chaps report on hold? No, he's in America. He's on holiday, honeymoon. So there is nothing on hold, I'm afraid. He had a day off.
He's currently enjoying the delights of, it looks like, Disneyland, Disney World.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah,
I think so. Oh, there we go. No, fuck's sake. My mouse has just finished. Chris is joining us. Kickoff's in 20 minutes. Good evening, everyone. So yeah, hopefully everybody is well, and I will need to find some batteries in a minute for my my mouse. So I'll get some. Oh no, there we go. That should be. Oh, I see what's done. So that should be done. It's nice to see Esse getting a goal yesterday. Then.
yeah. I think there's a lot of hype about Romain Esse around Millwall at the moment, and I think every time he seems to go away with the 18s or the 19s now, he seems to do something that stands out. I saw him and Joby Bellingham were reported as the best two players in the Montenegro game, and then Esse followed it up with a goal in the Wales game. So clearly, he's making an impression. I know lots of people have said, we have to take it with a pinch of salt. He's playing against people his own age, but you only play who you're up against. And if he's confident enough to be out on the pitch doing what he's doing and scoring goals, it can only be a good thing.
Nice. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you.
For the listeners, anyone that's listening in now and possibly a little bit early, I know some people might not have joined us just yet, but for the guys in the chat, January comes around, and for argument's sake, Burnley, Liverpool, Brighton are all sniffing around Romain Esse. Being realistic and not just saying 150 million, because that would be a little bit ridiculous. How much money, or money plus a player, would you be happy with to accept for Romain Esse in January if a bid was to come in? And the same question to you, Mickey.
Yeah, no, I know there's people looking, and I've heard that Liverpool's looking at around 3 million, so I don't know, 3 to 5 million maybe.
That's nowhere near enough for me. It's nowhere near enough.
Yeah, I don't think he's worth much more than that in a minute, mate. He's young. That's the problem you've got. Depends if he keeps performing at England, then maybe it'll go up. But yeah, it's his value definitely possibly isn't through club, because he's not getting that much there, is he? He's not getting that many games there. So yeah, just a quick one before you say something, Stephen. How many of you, because we've got a quiz tonight, and obviously it's a new one, and we wanted to do an interactive one, and we're obviously going to need to test a few different formats until we get it correct or whatever. Because obviously, putting answers in the comments are going to be will be manic for us, to be fair. So if you can just reply in the comments of how you watch this show, just easy TV, lap or phone, because the interactive, we can put a QR code up or a what you call it, where you can play it on your phone, and then as we play along, you answer it on your phone, and then we get the your scores and all that, and we can see who comes first, etc. So yeah, if you can do that would be great. Helps us in a little while when we do the quiz, and we'll pop up the QR code and that in a bit, so you can just scan it with your phone. It's fairly straightforward, so you don't need to be, even if you are a technophobe, you just need to maybe watch on something else. Got to be 8 million, but in instalments, can't see us getting 8 million from him. 5-6 million, I wouldn't blame him going. Won't get played under Rowett. God, Stephen, sorry, mate. I stopped.
No. It just surprises me that, and I might get slaughtered for this, but I can't see why we can't be asking for more money. Other clubs look at young talent from the Championship. They look to, like young English players, and there's always English tax. I just think that if the club are serious about improving the academy and improving their prospects and becoming a better run club with transfers, with moving everything forward, I'm not saying that we're going to go out and we're going to get £30 million for him, but I think we should. If a club comes in for him, I don't think we should be letting him go for anything less. I don't think anything less than 10. Personally, I'm not saying I don't know what Romain Esse is worth. I don't know in terms of experience. Do clubs really look at that? Burnley bought Manchester United's reserve goalkeeper. He'd never played a game outside of League One, and they paid what, £20 million for him. So I don't know. I think.
But think about it realistically. Right? He plays for Millwall. He's not getting a lot of games. He's doing well for England, and he needs games to be able to cement his place in England. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, his agent or his family or whatever, realistically, if someone comes in for him at 5 million, he's going to go, that's a chunk of money for the club. More so, plus protect. Say, for instance, say he's only on, I don't know, say he's on 1,500 quid a week, £2,000 a week. Premiership club comes in, say Liverpool come in and offer 5 million, and all of a sudden stick his wages on 20 grand a week. Even 10 grand a week. It's 10 times what he's earning there. And, is he going to get, okay, with Liverpool, maybe not, but, somewhere where he's going to get play time, it's a
but the club don't have to sell him, though.
The club get no choice. If he wants to go, he will go. It's not the club. No. The club get no choice. All this bullshit of people going, oh, well, it's up to the club. No, it's not. It's up to the player. Because if I played for you and I wanted to leave and you were being a pain in the arse to do it, then I'll go, okay, no worries, don't bother me. I can sit on my, do you know what I mean? I'm not playing every week, so it don't matter. I'll come on when I do. I'll take the money. And then at the end of it, I'm going for free anyway.
That may well be the case, but I don't think with Esse, I think the club are in a strong position where they can demand as high a fee as they want, personally. I don't see why, and I don't think the fact that just, you look at, I think Hull sold, was it Potter, Keenan Hughes Potter, I think? I don't know who it was. They sold him up to, I think they went to West Ham, and they paid like £18 million for him. It only had one good season in the Championship, and they paid big money for him. So I think it was just something that I thought about. Obviously, Esse's getting a lot of traction. There's a lot of people talking about him now. You score goals when you're away on international duty, and instantly people start to take notice. And he's being mentioned in the same name as Joby Bellingham, whose name obviously carries a little bit of weight with who he is. So, and just to clarify, I don't think we should be looking to sell Esse whatsoever. We should be looking to develop him, give him more game time, and bring the best out of him. But I can see in January there being some serious interest.
Something else what you were saying.
There you go. Yeah, Keane lose pot. That's it. That's who it was. But what I'm saying is he'd had maybe no more than 50 games. I know that's maybe a lot more than what Romain Esse's had, but he went for about 15 million. So I just think that there's going to be serious interest, and I don't think we should be taking a low ball figure personally. It's on a long track.
You don't want to be a club that has a reputation of standing in the way of young players moving on. What better opportunity comes along either? Disincentivise young players coming to your academy, 100%. That's the problem you've got.
It is, but also, come on, let's face it. How many football clubs? Every football club's got an academy. Every football club's got players that come through that look good, or people who snip around. I don't think it would. We would, I'm not saying we're going to play real hardball and make it really, really difficult for SA to leave if he really wanted to go. I just think that there's going to be serious interest in January.
1,000% Rout won't play in our next. Rout won't play him in our next 3 games. I'll wait. He'll get 10 minutes.
Well,
it's under contract till June the 26th. What, next year, Chris?
No, June 2000. I think he needs to. June
2026. Good evening, Big E.
Hi, Big E.
I think I read that he's the only champ player in that England setup. Rest the Prem lad, speaks volumes for the talent he has. But he never gets a real sniff. That's the
only other one who's non-Premier League that's making a name for himself is Joby Bellingham. Obviously, he's at Sunderland, isn't he? They're the only two that regularly play for that England side that don't play for a Premier League club.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. He just needs more game time. If he gets more game time, then it'll up his England time. But yeah, it's a no-win situation, really, is it? Do you know what I mean? He needs more.
Yeah, I think the other thing as well with SA is...
I agree with Joe Zampa. Is Joe Zampa in the
yeah,
question?
I think Joe said 15 mil plus a sell-on fee, I think.
Oh, there. Joe, if you want to come on, I posted the link in our chat, mate. I didn't even know that was you then, mate, with the little cartoon line. So, yeah. But, yeah, we'll see.
The other thing with... I think someone commented about SA there, talking about how much game time he's going to get. We don't know how serious Duncan Watmore's injury is, and we don't know the extent of Nisbet's current injury. So I think SA's game time potentially he could, looking at what other attacking players are left, he could perhaps get a little bit more of a look in. But I think it's all very well people asking for him to play, and I'm one. I think he should be playing, but he needs to be playing in the right position. You can't just pick him and shove him out wide.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I don't know, mate. It's a hard one, isn't it? It's one of those, isn't it? I don't know. Right, where are we? There we go. We've done that one. If we do lose players to top clubs, why don't we at least take one of their youngsters plus cash plus sell on? Yeah, that makes sense. I want to see Mac start at least 4 or 5 games. Yeah, totally. Good evening, Evan. New listener, I think I've not seen his name in the comments before. Got to shoot off. Have a good show. Traitor is going off to watch the
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions, isn't he? Yeah.
Have we sold Ben? Not been on for weeks. No, Ben is all well and good. He does reply in our group chat, but
he could be here next week because I'm not here next Friday. So it all depends on who Steve talks into doing the live show with him next week. So yeah, either Dan or Ben probably. Or Joe.
Joe, if you're in the chat, if you're around Friday, join me, please.
Sell him to a Premier club, then they're loaning back to us for a second. Now that makes sense. That I could see happening, and I could see us taking it, like 3 to 5 million, sell him to a club, and then we get that.
But if he's not playing, though, if he's not playing,
but maybe but they might put a clause on it that you can only have him back if he plays. So maybe that could be there. Here's a question. Then here's a question to the chat. Dan Riggs says. Dan Riggs is. I know it's Martin Riggs, isn't it, from Lethal Weapon. He says. Dan Riggs says, "Is it just me, or does Amaku give anyone else Paul Eiffel-ish vibes?" Let us know in the comments. Are you going Preston?
There's a few. There's a few. Ben, for those, I think that was the guy who asked about. No, I don't think it was Ben. I think Ben's going to Preston. There's a few people I think trying to sort it out. What's done me in is the 12:30 kickoff. So I'm not sure. You'd hope to see him if he'll play Campbell in front of SA and the Mac. Well, yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? I mean, realistically though, so if you take the last game we had and the game before, you had Watmore, Fleming, and Nisbet as the three kind of attacking players, but two of those are now injured.
Yeah.
So unless Rowett's going to completely change the system again and try something completely different, he's going to have to potentially. I mean, for me, the scenario that makes sense is to have Bradshaw and Fleming as a front two, and Esse just behind. Yeah. I would love Amaku to start. I really, really would. But just on the basis that Bradshaw and Fleming have scored goals in the Championship, I think they could. I think as a two up front, take Fleming a little bit out of the limelight, because you're kind of pushing him further forward and saying, don't worry about the creativity side. Be on the end of the chances. And I would, if there was ever a scenario and ever a time where the squad's looking a bit thin and we don't have as many attacking players, Romain Esse should be playing in the number 10 role next Saturday. And I'd be very disappointed if he's not.
So you got the exclusives there. Next Friday will be father and son duo, Stephen and Joe. So Paul Eiffel's better. Yeah, I agree. But Amaku is young, and I think they're different players. To be fair, Richard Smith just joining. Hello, Richard. Richard. You've not been on for a couple of weeks, have you? I don't think I've seen you. So yeah, just joining. I'm going to Preston, but can't make either Blackpool or Watford. I'm going Watford. All the boys, I think, are going to Watford. We've all got our tickets. So yeah, see the going Rowett out brigade has started to resurface on X. I think they just come backwards. They come most days, mate. And I think we discussed this on Friday, didn't we? That do we look at Millwall games through rose-tinted glasses, and also the fact of, if you look at the stats, Rowett is doing better this season than what he's done previous. The other 4 seasons he's been in charge as such. I know it started grim, and I think, to be honest, our season was pretty clouded because of how we performed at Blackburn. And I think how we finished the season at Blackburn was you're already on a negative thing. Yes, it saved him to a degree that we got the win at Middlesbrough, but then following it up with a draw and a loss, that just suddenly brought all the disappointment from the Blackburn game back into play. And then obviously we went win, and then we've gone draw and loss, and then a win. And I think that's the problem where we are, is that it's just suddenly, if we go on a bit of a run and get 3 or 4 wins suddenly out the way and get them on, then I think the Rowett out will still be there, but I think it will be not as vocal as it is. There's a question from Gaza. What is Esse's proper position?
I don't think anybody really knows. And I think if you was to ask Esse, I think he would be the sort that would say anywhere across the front line. Personally, I think he's a number 10. I think he could probably play in Fleming's position should Fleming not play or be sold or dropped or whatever. I really think that's his proper position. I don't think Esse's blessed with natural pace. I don't think he's rapid like Amaku is, but I think technically and being able to take people on in and around the middle of the pitch, I think that's where Esse's probably at his best. He's not slow, but he's not a pacey winger. There you go.
Wall Line says the same as you, mate. He's a attacking midfielder like Fleming, and David says Esse always seemed to play left in the under 21s. And then obviously there we go. Just keep two up front with Mako and Bradders, and then we'll swap Campbell for Saville. Keep the rest from the last game. Would even be tempted to swap Honeyman for Fleming. Bit of a controversial one there, but it could work.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure what? You're not
sure
we're swapping
Honeyman for Fleming, just on the basis that I think Fleming's they're desperately trying to get him back to kind of anywhere like near where he was, and I think the only way you're going to do that is by playing him. I don't think dropping him after an international break is the best thing.
No.
There's a quote. There's a comment coming up from Joe. You need that,
mate. Even
no, not that one.
Even Stephen's dad, mate, ain't that old for you two to be brothers, mate. Do you know what I mean? If he goes to Liverpool, he'll end up like Jordan
Ibe.
I think he's playing for Ebbsfleet now.
Yeah, they announced the signing of Jordan Ibe on Saturday, and he played in their FA Cup tie. And I think he was sold to Bournemouth for £15 million. So just goes to show sometimes when these youngsters sort of leave and go to the bigger clubs, it doesn't always quite work out.
I think Bobby could be on a thingy there, mate. I think it is payback time, to be fair. On the wing, playmaker 10, I'd say. Right, lads, I'm off to watch Married at First Sight with the Warden. Enjoy the rest of the show, everyone. By the way, the Warden, if you're watching Joe's wife, that's who he's calling you. So, maybe give him some itching powder in his pants for the week, eh? No worries, Joe. See you later on, fella. Hopefully, he lasts more than 23 minutes next week. All right,
I hope so. I'm stuffed.
You're on your own.
I'm stuffed.
I agree. And Fleming has been a bit of a dead weight, especially in big games. Yeah, he has.
Yeah, I'm not. I think Fleming has got a lot to live up to from last year, and he does need to improve certainly. And that comment is spot on. But I think there's glimpses that he's, the goal at Plymouth, a couple of, the assist at Plymouth, just a couple of little bits and pieces that in his game that he's trying to he's trying to do something. He's trying to find a little bit of a spark. So I think dropping him straight after the international break probably wouldn't be the best thing for him. And I don't think Rowett would do that now. I was surprised he did it when he did in the Leeds game, let alone doing it now.
I get that. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm having palpitations now about this quiz, because it looks as if people watch and thing. But I'm going to pop it up. We will go into the smaller screen, I think. So I don't think there's any way of us, unless that way. No, it'll be that way then, isn't it? No, that way for now. So look, if you do want to play the quiz, you can do it on the laptop or you can do it on your phone, but you just need to scan that QR code if you want to do it on your phone. We'll see what sort of numbers we get. If we get any on there, then we can have a look at it. But we'll do the quiz probably in about 20 minutes, Stephen?
Yeah,
probably about 20 minutes or so. So 20 to 10, we'll look at doing the quiz if you want to join in. It is interactive. You do it on your phone. I don't know if you'll be able to watch YouTube in the small screen, as in a picture-in-picture. You should be able to.
I don't think that's going to work. That's the only issue.
Yeah, might do. We'll see. You can do it because I watch TikTok and YouTube for you when I'm talking to you boys. So yeah. Right, Bobby's got a question. Let's discuss who plays right back next 3 games, Danny or Puff Coffee.
Well,
on a right back, purely right back, no wing right back, I would go Danny Mac.
After the last game, there is no way in hell that Danny McNamara is going to start on Saturday. He
won't notice that he's gone yet.
I did notice, actually. It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. But that first half, he just looked shot to pieces. And
put in the comments who you pick. It's either Danny or Puff. So Puff Coffee or Danny. Who would you pick for your right back for what's the next game? Preston, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's not great to see, but his confidence is shot, and there's no two ways about it. And it's so obvious that Rowett at half time, Rowett took him off. Norton Cuffy come on. I thought he played quite well. Didn't set the world alight, but I thought he was all right. I just think Danny's probably set for a little bit of time on the bench after Saturday.
Looks like I'm in my own fan club tonight, mate.
It's not about the anti Danny Mac. There's a comment that one of the guys posted. Danny needs a run at right back. I would say he probably does need a run of games, but if his confidence is low, he's not going to get it.
This is what I said the other day, wasn't it? This is what I said on Friday's show. What needs to be? Richard's thrown in a wild card there. Longman
possibly
at right back.
Possibly because I think Joe Bryan. I'll eat my words. I did say I wasn't sure about him, but the last couple of games, Joe Bryan's been absolutely superb. Take the goal. The goal obviously was very good, but take the goal out of it, I thought he was fantastic.
See, that's a trick comment as well, isn't it? I mean, Danny was up against that player he was up against was fucking mustard. Yeah,
it's Philogene, the guy they got on loan, I think, from Aston Villa, or they bought from Aston Villa, and he was named. I put it in our chat. He was named England under-21 player of the match in their last game. So he was up against a top quality player. I understand that, but it still doesn't look like the psychological side of things. The second goal, the header, Danny's header that. Bart was out of position and it all went wrong. Those kind of things, it clearly bothers him, and I think it's going to be difficult for him to be picked after that. But yeah.
Once Dan says once Hutch is back, Lendog at number 8.
Possibly.
JB is solid. They brought him from Villa.
Yeah, they did buy. I knew he was from Villa. I didn't know if they bought him or it was a loan. But yeah, he's very, very good. Very good player.
I agree with what Alex said. Realistically, backs to the walls. We need Danny Max defending, and I think really they need to give, Danny a good run of games, because I think that's one of the problems with the defence that we've been, leaking, because they're just not playing the same ones week in, week out. There's loads of changes. And, but that's down to Rowett. His defensive mindedness. He should be able to know how to do it. So, yeah.
I just think that if he goes with McNamara, I can only see it getting worse for him, as in Danny. People are going to get on his back, because if his confidence is.
Why do you think fans have jumped on Danny so much this season? I've got an answer, or I've got a potential reason, maybe.
I think, and this is just my opinion, I don't think Danny McNamara has come on how he perhaps should have and how the fans expected him to have. I think when McNamara went out on loan at St Johnstone and come back, obviously the issues with Marlon, that was a bit of a problem. That's why McNamara come back to us. But he come in and he was clearly an improvement on Marlon Romeo. He just was. He was defending really well every week. He was, putting in full-blooded challenges. He was, you could tell the loan spell had done him the world of good. And I think last year, the back end of last year, I think his form did start to tail off, and he didn't have anybody to give him any competition to the position. And I think he was someone, and again, there's other players that fell into this category as well. There were other players that knew they were going to play. George Long, for example, knew he was going to play last year because Rowett had no faith in Bart's knees. So there was certain.
Then all of a sudden this year he's suddenly got faith in him because he don't want to play the other youngsters. My theory is that, which was quite unprecedented to a degree. So do you remember there was when Danny was signing a new contract, and then there was whatever it was, there was loads of rumours going around that there was a clause or someone, either the club or him wanted a clause. I don't know what it was, but there was all this to and fro. And then all of a sudden the club come out with a story in the local press about Danny's stalling on the contract, etc., etc., etc. Then all of a sudden, a week or so later, the fans get on his back from that story. And then about a week or so later, all of a sudden, Rowett comes out and says, well, until Danny signs, I won't be playing him. And I think from that moment on, they then lit the paper for fans to be able to turn, because they sort of turned. And I think that's always unfair from a position of someone like the club doing that to a player when they have all the power. They can come out and say whatever they want about the player and put it into the press, but the player can't, because obviously a player is contracted to the club, and the only way they can do it is by going through the PR, and he wouldn't be able to have an interview or say something to the press without the club suddenly going, no, you can't say that. That won't be going out, thanks. And I think that's where it done.
So let me ask you then, that being said, has Danny McNamara been the same player over the last year or so than he was when he first come back from St Johnstone?
Has
Danny McNamara been the same player he was when he first come back off his loan spell over the last 6 months? So the 3 months of this season and the last 3 months of last year. Has he been the same player?
It was last year. It was towards the middle of last year when there was all the hoo-ha over the contract, wasn't there?
But I get that. But he's not been good enough.
But this is what I'm saying. Was there, has it broken down between him and people at the club over the way that he was thrown he was thrown in front of the bus, when we didn't get that with Jed, and Jed was stalling on his contract. We didn't get that on Jake Cooper when Jake Cooper was stalling on his contract.
But both of those two, Jed Wallace was playing his heart out and actually impacting games. That Jake Cooper again was pretty good. Has been pretty good. Yeah, McNamara hasn't.
Yeah, but the difference is that basically they wouldn't do. What I'm trying to say is they wouldn't do it to Jake Cooper because Jake Cooper, they haven't got anyone else to do his position. And when Jed was here, they wouldn't have done it to Jed because again they've got nothing. Got nothing to be able to do. But Jed. Realistically, I think if you speak to Jed and listen to the rumours, I mean, Jed wasn't treated that fairly towards the end of it. So,
no, I know, but you say about not. But
again, they're just rumours.
Danny McNamara didn't have any competition in his place last year. You say Jed Wallace didn't have any competition, and Jake Cooper didn't have any competition. Either did Danny. I'm not gonna sit here and just say, oh, he's terrible, he's this, that, and the other, because I don't think he's a bad player. I just think he is horrendously out of form and has been for a while.
But what I'm saying is, has he become out of form through the fact of there was a breakdown potentially behind the doors, and that possibly knocked his confidence at the club, threw him under a bus, and then also fans starting to get in on him because of the things what we've done there, and then going forward where he's not being played in his correct position, and then he's expected to do more than maybe what he can do, and yet Rowett hasn't come out and gone, Danny had a bad game tonight because of, I wanted him to play in a different position than what he's, really what he's comfortable in. and you don't get any of that. Do you know what I mean? You
No,
won't get that.
but okay, I'll ask you one question on the contract situation. Why, from Danny McNamara's side, why would contract talk stall? From Danny McNamara's side, not Millwall, why from his side would they stall?
But there was a speculation that the club wanted to put a clause in there. It depends what that clause was. Depends when it was and whether or not you wanted that clause in there. I mean, if I was coming to work for you and you suddenly turned around and said, I'm going to put a clause in there that you have to work Saturdays, and I said, well, no, I'm Monday to Friday, then it would stall until it gets agreed, doesn't it?
Right.
It's not necessarily one side or the other. We don't know what side it is. So, I mean, are you saying that the reason the contract stalled is because it was something on Danny's side or something on the club?
No,
I mean, the club
could
have, either side could have fixed that if they were both in agreement. There was obviously a disagreement at some point, and the fact of the club coming out and throwing him under a bus, I think, was unprecedented. I think that I don't care who the player is. I don't think that's necessarily the way to do it.
I don't know what the situation with the contract is. I'm just saying that there was obviously something from both sides that they couldn't agree on. But and whether it be whatever a clause is, whatever, I don't know. But I just think if Danny Mac and his family are Millwall fans, they're all Millwall boys. They have been for years. Fine, get that. Realistically, that I think he has been let off lightly because of that, and I understand that. We all want one of our own to do well. We do. But I just think that it's getting to a point now that there are supporters, much like myself, and I'm sure there's plenty listening and other people that will listen to the show and people that go to the games that are looking at it and going, he's just not quite good enough at the moment. He's not improved. He's not. He was improving all the way. He went out on loan. He was improving and improving and improving, and he's hit a point where he's just not really getting any better for us to go to the next level. It's possibly it happens to every player gets to a point where, is this as far as they can go with us? I don't know. Maybe he can improve, but I just think that players, regardless of a contract situation, regardless of who they support or anything, are, at the end of the day, 15,000 people were there last week and watched that first half, and I'm pretty sure that 90 to 95% of them would have gone at half time, he's not good enough, he needs to come off, and they're just looking at it with their eyes.
Maybe, I think there's what you call it. No, there is nothing yet. I've not heard anything. I am going to take to social media either tonight or tomorrow on Twitter and call it out big time. And I will do a camera. We'll both do a camera call out later on, and then we'll clip that and put that on social media. And then obviously that's when we need everyone's help to just retweet it and get it to him. And hope you see it and see what happens. Be good if it can happen. If you know he doesn't want it, then maybe we'll look at someone else. Maybe TT might be able to get us a team, and we'll go against them. We'll sort something out with it. So yeah. What's his name says? Yeah, the day we signed Brian, I thought Danny Mac's days were numbers. As that to me says Gary Rowett wants to play with wing backs. Is Danny happy to bench warm and only start a few games when Gary Rowett reverts to 4 at the back? I don't know. Danny Mac looks a stone overweight. To be fair, Gazza, I'm about fucking a couple of stone overweight as well. So yeah, we had on Friday's show with the sports team. So yeah,
I don't know. I'm not sure if he looks overweight. As I say, for me, it's purely confidence. His confidence.
It is confidence. I totally agree with you. I think it is confidence. You know, I think it's confidence, and I think he needs a what do you call it? So yeah, I think he gets a ton of slack for being Wall. Puts a performance in. Danny did, but he'd be pillared too. Yeah, I totally agree with that. So yeah, I'll come back to your comment in a minute, Dan. Where's Smash'em? Who? Oh, yeah, Lions TV. Yeah, maybe. Look, I'm a bit biased, so yeah, I just think there's more, and I don't know. I've not spoken to anyone about it, but I just think there's more. The way that the club put him out there showed to me that maybe it was something what they wanted and they weren't getting their way, so they decided to put the pressure on. That's my view. It just, I just, my understanding of how the PR game works and bits and pieces around that, I just personally think that maybe they weren't getting what they wanted. So they basically used the power of the fan base and bop, off it goes.
The other thing with that is as well, we're not a club that can afford to muck about with players and muck about with contracts, because at the time, Danny Mack there was talk he was going to get in the Ireland squad. He was going to, clubs were sniffing around him. We can't piss off players in that position because they'll just run their contract down like so many have and go and move on. So I don't know. I don't know if it was a bad PR stunt. It was a bad PR stunt, regardless of who the player is. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it be a Millwall fan, someone who's been at the club for a long time, whatever. But I just whatever's happened, whatever has happened, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, he's just not recovered from it. And unfortunately, the fans are starting to sort of pick up on that. I hope he can turn it around. I just don't. I think for a little while we're going to see Norton Cuffy, regardless of or as the other guy said, if Hutchinson comes back and he wants to play Harding as well, then maybe Leonard will go out there.
Yeah, no, maybe I'll do it. So yeah, thank you very much, Bobby. You on our Twitter account, we might be able to post a link up here in a little bit, maybe. But on our Twitter account, there is a post which I'll pin in a minute. But you've got till tomorrow to be able to nominate us for a Football Supporters Association awards, possibly. I have put that, why not vote for us? TT, Millwall Drive Home, and Actual Millwall. See if we can get, 3 of us in there. Probably won't, but, always brought up, if you don't ask, you don't get. So, yeah. I know you're not necessarily a watcher of it, Stephen, but I will go back to there. I said the very same thing to Stephen the other day when the advert came out for it. Back of a car, driving. I understand he's probably busy, but yeah, I felt the same, which is a shame because, you've got to look at. There's no, anyone can just put content out there just for the sake of it, but sometimes you've got to think what you're doing with it. So. Yeah, I agree with you there. Dan, great to have him and a great coup. Absolutely fantastic coup. But, I felt it was possibly a bit last minute maybe or a bit rushed. So, if it's in Cuffy contract to play, he's going to be down on confidence. Absolutely. And we don't know what that is. Maybe we'll reach out to that Arsenal guy who got in touch because he seemed to know a bit, didn't he? Maybe I'll ask him what's what, whether or not he knows or not. Glad it wasn't just me that sensed that. Cheers, Mickey. No, I said it to Stephen the other day. I said to Stephen, have a look at this. And Stephen said, I don't watch any of his stuff, so no. And it was like, okay. So, yeah. Right, we put this back up and we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Let us know in the comments if you have managed to log into it. If not, maybe what we do is I'll put it up on my laptop and just ask the questions and go through it that way, couldn't we, Stephen? We could just do it that way.
Yeah, the answering though becomes a little bit tricky, doesn't it? Because the comments come in and stuff. So we'll have to see what we can do.
So, yeah. If you've logged in to do the quiz, let me know. Just put yes in the comments, because if you have, then we can do it. So yeah, well, there's 2 of you. Whee! Are you logged in as well, then, Stephen?
I am, yeah.
On your laptop?
Yes.
So you can log on your laptop, you can log on your thingy.
But I'm recording on my phone, so
okay.
So yeah,
everyone's doing it. So shall we just do the quiz and then we come back? It's probably going to be about 20 minutes worth. So yeah, bear with me. Looks like let's have it, shall we? Let's okay. Are you ready? Off. Let's go. Why aren't you opening? Why is it not opening? Oh God. Let me come out of there. Stephen, speak for a minute while I just sort something out.
As you're all aware, guys, this is live and we're testing this, so please bear with us. I did see a comment from Glenn Williams who said, "Why isn't Saville playing ahead of Campbell? He's the only leader in the squad." As you may know, Glenn, and the other listeners, I'm sure Mickey does, I am the founder member of the George Saville fan club. I think he should be the first name on the team sheet every week. And I cannot give you an answer as to why Alan Campbell is playing ahead of George Saville. I agree. I think he is the only leader in the squad. I think he's another player that has come into us from, he's been with us a couple of times now, but he understands what it takes to play for Millwall. So, yeah, I don't know. Unless we were discussing a couple of weeks ago that maybe Luton have something in his contract, and maybe again, like we were talking about Norton Cuffy, perhaps wanting being put in his contract that he has to play. Maybe Luton have got something to get Alan Campbell back up to full fitness, but I don't know. I would love to see a midfield of Casper and Sav. I really think it would be a strong midfield for us, but unfortunately, Gary Rowett is anti George Saville at the moment. There's also a quote from Gaz, "Got my pen and paper ready. How do I send you my answers?" Asking for a technophobe.
For some unknown reason, this is not. If I go there,
and there's a comment there. Cuffy's contract has nothing about having to play. He's on 3.5K a week and not having to play clause. Again, unless you are well in the know, I'm not going to. I don't know. That's not something that I'm aware of. I know Arsenal in the past have previously said when they send players out on loan, they request that they get a certain amount of game time or they play a certain amount of games. So who knows? But maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's just us speculating. And I think it was clearly obvious to me why Norton Cuffy was brought in for his attacking outlet rather than his defensive work as a wing back. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting as well if that's right. If he's on £3,500 a week, I again was under the impression that Arsenal pay their youngsters quite a hefty wage, which again is another reason why they struggle with certain players getting loan moves and things. But if that's true, that's certainly a bargain for us because we won't be paying hardly anything for him then.
Yeah. Hang on 1 second. I'm trying to get this sorted. Keep speaking, Stephen.
You put me under pressure now. Look, I think from a perspective, looking at Preston next week, I think there was someone that had said, what do we think, or how is it going to go? This week will be interesting. I'm fingers crossed that Tom Bradshaw manages to come through unscathed, so he's back available for us next weekend. As we said earlier, myself and Joe Zampa, we might see if we can get Ben out of his exile and see if we can get him on as well. We'll do a proper in-depth on the game, preview of the game next Friday, so we probably won't cover too much of that tonight. But I certainly would expect providing we don't have any more injuries that come up, then certainly we'll look to go there and hopefully win, and hopefully get Esse some more game time. Carl Bracey, do you think Rowett has fallen out with Sav? Yes, I do. That's the only possible reason I can think of that why George Savile isn't playing at the moment. I think Rowett has certainly always as well been keen on, bringing in his players. And I think by bringing in Campbell, he's brought him in. He wants to play him. So he's going to play him, and that's the end of it. And I think that's certainly come into it. I think, as I say, I think George Savile has possibly knocked on the manager's door and gone, right, I was third in player of the season last year. The fans, not that the fans will have much of an influence on who Rowett decides to pick, but the fans clearly want him to play. He was a key part to the team last year, and he's now not getting game time. So I think he would have been well within his right to ask the question. There could have been a falling out. I don't know, but I certainly think there is an issue between the two of them. The Daily Millwall, Bradshaw, no play today in the Wales game. He should be sound. I didn't know that. So I think he got 45 minutes in the last game that they played. So if he's not played today, that means he should be coming back to us within the next few days, because I think that's Wales' international games done. So yeah, hopefully Bradshaw comes through in with no injuries, because I don't think we can suffer anymore.
No, I don't either. So I don't know if it's just going to let me do it. Let's have a look. We'll go with that, and we should be able to. Is it going to let us start it? No, it's just all it's doing. It's giving me, fuck's sake, it's giving me a new code now.
Oh dear.
Oh, mate, it's a nightmare. So I can get it on there, but the ones where where everyone is on, which is that one, isn't it? The session has not started. Start session. There's just nothing in there. I think I've just kicked you all out, haven't
I? No, you haven't. Because I'm still in it.
Oh, I don't know.
James Aero Art, Sav should have been made captain this season. That possibly would have been a very, very good shout. But again, if there's been a falling out, who knows? I think Jake Cooper's done a reasonable job in Hutch's absence. I think Hutchinson, I don't think Hutchinson has reached the stage of Alex Pearce just yet, but much like when he was club captain and someone around the ground, I think Hutchinson could fill that void, but I think he'll come back in and take the armband. Born free, die free. Evening, gents. You got to give Dan's Teddy interview a watch. What a diamond geezer, Millwall legend. Anyway, I'm going to skip to the start of tonight's show later, so he's going to watch back.
Right, I'm just gonna do. I'll for some unknown reason, I've got no idea why this is not working with you. So we'll have to. I think I have to put all the questions in one hit.
There's also a few people saying, I've got my typewriter ready, carrier pigeon launch with my answers.
Let's just do some questions. We'll do some questions here. You don't have to. None of them are working, mate. For fuck's sake. This worked earlier, and then when we go into it, then it won't work. So that one's been stopped. That one's. But it's always the same, isn't it? When you want to do it. Suddenly it works, and then all of a sudden it don't work. So let's go there, and I'll go there. Yep, none of them are working. Oh well, we'll have to. I will have to figure it out and then come back to you later on. Actually, I'll tell you what we do.
Alex has just
here.
put in Kahoot is a good platform for quizzes like this. Alex, we did look at Kahoot. However,
they wanted a bloody fortune.
The fees to do it were a little bit out of that Millwall podcast price range. So, so
if there is anyone listening that wants to sponsor, it's about 80 quid to get about 200. But here we go. We do, Stephen, you done the questions. I'll do those. Listen, what we do is answering the answers in the comments. All right. So your first question.
Wait, what am I doing?
Just do it that way. I said I'm just going to do your quiz because I can't get into mine. So yeah, I will sort it out for the next show when I'm back, and then we go from there. So we just go. Stephen done a quiz. I'll do the first one. You do the second one, then. Yeah, Stephen. I'll do the video kills.
I haven't got that. No.
Oh, I've got them all. I'll do them all then. All right. Just answers in the comment then. There we go. Okay. We'll make the comments in the comments. Okay.
Yeah, but how many questions are you going to ask? Because there's loads.
I'm not all of them.
For ages.
I'm not all of them. I'm going to do about 15. That's it.
All right. Fine.
All right. So, in which year was "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here" first broadcasted? So, in what year was "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here" first broadcasted? Get your answer in the comments.
I feel like I should have like the "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire" music playing, or I don't know, The Wheel, or something. I don't know.
We can do. You're wrong. Millwall, you're wrong. Darren, you're wrong. Dan Riggs, you're wrong. Richard Lacey is correct. 2002 was it. In Game of Thrones, what is the name of Jon Snow's sword? In Game of Thrones, what is the name of Jon Snow's sword?
Also, I'm of the impression that our listeners are upstanding citizens and are not Googling the answers before they type their messages into the chat.
Oh, yes, am I. But listen, Richard was the first in with the correct thing. So, and the first one with the correct answer. We will take the first person with the correct answer. This time it was Dan Riggs. Can you make a note of Richard?
Yeah.
And and Dan. Millwall quiz in a minute, mate. Millwall quiz in a sec. Don't panic. It's because we've had to make do with some questions. So Millwall one in a minute, all right? Only Fools and Horses, in the episode where the Trotters become millionaires, how much money do they actually sell the famous watch for? In Only Fools and Horses, in the episode where the Trotters become millionaires, how much money do they actually sell the famous watch for? First answer. Oh, Bobby, close. Alex, you're spot on, mate. 6.2 million. Well done. Right, next question. We're taking the first person who does it, and then we'll put you in a draw for something, okay? What is the name of the first prison that the Cons escaped from in Prison Break? What is the name of the first prison that the Cons escaped from in Prison Break?
And for anybody that hasn't watched Prison Break, that is a fantastic series. Go and watch it. It's amazing.
It's about fucking 15 years old now, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's amazing.
So what is the name of the first prison that the Cons escaped from in Prison Break? There we go. Oh, nearly Gaza. Need a bit more to it, mate.
Oh, I think I'd have given that.
What, to Gaza or to Dan Riggs?
Well, whoever
Dan
was
Riggs
first.
is already... well, they're both exactly the same. Dan Riggs has already been in first. So
yeah, but if he...
give it to Gaza then.
But if Dan's... Whoever wins the quiz, whoever's first, we can do it that way rather than give everyone a point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. But yeah, all right, whatever then. Give
Dan
a point. Right.
Yeah.
Question 5. Who was the first person to speak in the first episode, the pilot of Friends?
I tell you what, we ain't going to get a gig on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or The Chase, are we?
No. So who was the first person to speak in the first episode, the pilot of Friends?
But if anybody from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or The Chase are watching, I would love to appear on your show. So yeah, please get me on.
Deary me. That's a fucking thingy one there, isn't it? So yeah. Right. Oh, we can reopen that. Oh well, we're not. Can I reopen it?
You can get the comments from, I think, Facebook and everything. The ones that are on YouTube, without giving anyone an opportunity to, if no one's got it right just yet, no one that's commented on YouTube that I can see have got it right in the chat.
No. Or Facebook. So yeah. Right. No one's got it. The answer was Monica. So here we go. These ones, no Googling, you should be in. Well done, Darren, but it was after I said it, but well done. Right. Millwall related questions, and they are fairly simple because this was going to be round one, leading you into it. So when was Millwall Football Club founded? When was Millwall Football Club founded? I told you we were easing them in.
Jesus Christ! There we go. There's an answer. Oh, I don't. You'll know who's first.
It's Bobby.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is.
Was it?
Yeah. I think it was Bobby. Hang on one sec. Where are we? Let's see. No, I was wrong. It was James Darcy.
Okay.
It popped up beforehand, so yeah. Right. Question 2, Millwall related. Which manager led Millwall to their first ever promotion to the First Division in 1988? It would have been much better if we could have actually done the poll, because then it would have tripped people up a bit more. But yeah, there we go. What manager led Millwall to their first ever promotion to the First Division in 1988? Let's have a look. James Darcy again, James Darcy again, the Doc.
So, am I right in saying that? So, what I've got here, I've got Richard on 1, Richard Lacey on 1, Dan Riggs on 2, Alex S on 1, James Darcy on 2. Depending on how many questions you do, are we saying that the person that wins this quiz, we're giving one of the tickets to?
No, I'm just going to put all the people who win. That's what I said. What we do is everyone who wins, we just put them in a wheel and spin it, and they'll win.
Right. Okay. So it doesn't matter how many they've got.
No.
Okay.
Fine. Just do so. Yeah. So for instance, on there, Darcy's on, and then the second person in would be Lions Raw. So just put Lions Raw in. Right. Here we go. Millwall reached the final of the Full Members Cup in 1983. Who did they face in the final? Millwall reached the final of the Full Members Cup in 1983. Who did they face in the final? James Darcy again, mate. Link. It's not spelled correctly, but oh no, Richard. Oh, hang on. Christ, hang on. Right, where are we? Alex S.
Right, he's already in there. So what we're doing?
Put Gaza. Gaza was the second. Is he already in there?
No.
Okay.
I've got 6 on there at the moment. We've got 6 people on there at the moment.
Right. Bear with me. I've got to keep the comments there so that I can see them. This is an absolute ball ache, isn't it? Especially now as the fuck is my mouse gone? Oh, it's up there. Downside of running 2 screens. Right. What did Steve Morrison achieve during the 2017-18 season? What did Steve Morrison achieve during the 2017-18 season? Do you know, Stephen?
I think so.
James Darcy, nope. Dan Riggs, nope. Daily Mills, nope.
He might
Richard,
have.
nope.
He might have.
Yeah, he might have done, but that's not the answer what we're looking for. I thought this one would trip people up a bit. Most goals in the season for a Millwall player, nope. I'll give you 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That question's done. No, he basically scored the last goal of 2017 and he scored Mill's first goal of 2018.
I wouldn't have got that, but I did. The answer I was going to give was he scored the last goal of the year, but I didn't know he scored the first goal of the.
Right. Right. Final few questions. All right, because that's it. These are the only Mill ones I've got. Because obviously we've done all the other ones. So yeah, is that the no? Where are we? See, they work much better when we can have the. Oh, there we go. When we could, if you'd have played them, then they were better. So yeah. Right, there we go. Millwall founding members of what league in 1894? Millwall were founding members of what league in 1894? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. James Darcy has got Daily Millwall. Put Daily Millwall down. He was a second answer.
I currently have on my screen, which I can't share with you because of the way this works, but I have a random wheel generator with all the names in. So do you want me to? Once we've done, I'll do the.
Yeah, definitely. Right. We do this one and one two. I think got 2 questions left, and then that should give us about 10 people, then, shouldn't it?
At the moment, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so 3 more questions. In 1920, Millwall would finally join the National Football League as a foundation member of Division 3. They celebrated their baptism with a 2-0 win over which team from the west of England? Swindon Town, Plymouth Argyle, Bristol Rovers, or Bristol City? James Darcy fucking picked his luck there, didn't he? James Darcy, you're already in the draw already. And right, is Richard in there?
Richard Lacey.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Darren Swan then has just got in. Okay. So that's 8 winners, yeah?
Yep.
Right. Mills. Right. Let's do. Yeah, that one. Right. Mill's fortunes plummeted for a while after World War II, but the appointment in 1982 of which manager who would go on to achieve fame elsewhere in London saw the beginning of a revival for the Lions. Mill's fortunes plummeted for a while after World War II, but the appointment in 1982 of which manager would go on to achieve fame elsewhere saw the beginning of a revival for the Lions. Right, so that Daily Mill's in there already, and he so's Darren.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby in there?
No, I will put him in now.
Put Bobby in now. So that's what's that? 8 in it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. Okay. Final question. Final question then. And then if I can get this working right next week, don't worry. This one will be easy. So get ready with your fingertips, gents, and ladies. This one will be fastest off the draw, okay? John Docherty was appointed Millwall manager in 1986, and he guided them to the top flight of English football for the very first time. They began that debut Division 1 season in 88-89 in remarkable style and actually led the table in the opening weeks. Which future England striker played a big part in the club's fortunes during that period?
That's a tricky one.
There we go. Darren's in. Bobby's already in. Dan, you're already in there, I think. Which during there. Wall line 94.
Yep.
Is that the 10?
That's 10.
There we go. Thank God for that. We can stop doing that now. Thank God for that. I will sort out the proper quiz to make it work next week.
Maybe we should, the international break, we should maybe try and get it perfect for that, because obviously from next week we've got games to discuss.
But we might need to test it at some point over next week, but we might need to get it tested. We may be doing midweek, like a Wednesday night or something, but we'll see. Right, okay. Tell us the names who are in the
So we've got Richard Lacey, Dan Riggs, Alex S, James Darcy, Lions Raw, Gaza, the Daily Millwall, Darren Swan, Bobby, and Wall Lion 94. So I'm assuming this is for one ticket for
for Thursday. It's Thursday.
It is Thursday, yeah. So to join us at the Byron Webster, Tony Craig, and David Ford evening. You get to spend your evening with us. I don't know if that's lucky or not for you.
Yeah,
but the winner...
Well, hang on, just before you do it, we're not paying for your transport. We're not paying for any accommodation. You make your own way there. We're not paying for your beers. We're not paying for your food. We're not paying for anything. All we're doing is giving you a ticket. That's the terms and conditions. And if you wish to accept, then, yeah, job done.
I'm just spun the thing, so it's doing it now. And the winner of the ticket is... It's going to flick over. The Daily Millwall. So the Daily Millwall, if you drop the pod a message regarding sorting out whatever for the ticket, picking it up or meeting Mickey there or whatever, well done.
There you go. We'll do another one on Twitter tomorrow to get rid of it that way. So, yeah. All good. Let's go back to there. So, where's my checkbook and pen? It's in the post. So, yeah, can you imagine that was it, wasn't it? Saturday nights back then, there was good things on the Saturday night. You had Blankety Blank, and what else did you have?
The best thing,
the generation game.
The best show for me. I mean, admittedly, I was a kid, but I used to love Gladiators. Gladiators, the original Gladiators.
Jonathan, nothing for me. What you need to do is ask Stephen if he recorded that spin, and then he can post it out on social later. But he probably didn't. But I would have done.
No, I didn't record it. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Thank you very much, Jonathan. And
now, if Joe was doing it, then yeah, I would probably go with you there. Do you know what I mean, Jonathan? But no. So,
but yeah, original Gladiators. Was it Big Break?
I remember Big Break.
Yeah. I've got a ticket already, but we'll say hello to you guys Thursday. Question is, will Stephen be wearing shorts? No, I probably won't be wearing shorts because it is getting a little bit colder now. But
Bullseye was a good one as well.
Yeah, Bullseye was wicked.
See, that'd be a good one. Wouldn't it? Like do a quiz one week with the old advert tunes and the old theme,
or even theme songs for anything. Yeah, theme songs for TV programs would be wicked. Let's have a look at what you could have won.
Yeah.
This is what happens when there's no Millwall. We've got nothing really to talk about. And again, for those that have stuck with us, thank you, because it's just
hopefully it's got you through your Friday night or your Sunday night, or it's got you through the week listening to us on the thingy
on Spotify.
Yeah, it was always a speed bike, wasn't it, or a kitchen. I don't know how you'd swap a kitchen like with your mate. Do you know what I mean? Who gets it? Does one have to pay more for it, or what? I don't know. It's
trying to think. The other Price is Right. Price is Right was another one back in the day.
The American Price is Right was always a mad one, wasn't it?
Noel's house party
with the gotchas. I'll tell you what was good. Mate, with the clock fella. Oh, what's his name? He's got one hand bigger than the other. Jeremy Beadle. Laugh. What is it? Game of Laughs? No, I can't think now. Someone will come into it. Richard Lacey, both of them. I like both of them.
I'd say another one and I would love to do this. I really, really, because you can do it in London.
You bet it would be good.
The Crystal Maze, the original Crystal Maze, with the guy who's from the Rocky Horror Show, Richard O'Brien.
Yeah.
You can do the Crystal Maze now in London. They've got like a room set up where you do the challenges and you go into the glass dome at the end. I would love to do that. I'm also going to do this because I know she commented earlier. She hasn't said anything, but I'm sure she'll be listening. My mum had a go at doing the, the dome at in the Crystal, they had to get the tickets. She had a go. They had one set up at Blue Water, and she had a go at doing it, and she was absolutely terrible at it. So I've always said, if I get an opportunity to do it, I'm gonna get hundreds of them. So random useless crap for the listeners there. But Crystal Maze, fantastic.
Do you know what I might do on Twitter? I might just do, as long as you're following us, just tell us why you want the ticket. I think that will be the one, rather than or a really easy question. I don't know yet, but something. But Jeremy Bean, who had a very small one on the other end, it was quite big. Oh, boom, boom. Go on in. We got 10 minutes. We got about 5-10 minutes before we go. Give us your best joke, but it's got to be clean. Your best dad joke. Let's see what it was.
Give me a couple of minutes and give me yours, mate.
What is mine? I don't know. I can't think of one in a minute. I'll think of one. Someone will put one in the comments. But I mean, and obviously your lead predictions. So I'll tell you one day I'll have to put the video on here. That guy from the radio show from YouTube and TikTok where they do the nicknames. Have you seen that?
No.
And there was they talk about, there was a fella with a limp, and he was called the Sniper's Nightmare. There you go, Stephen. Did get my email. He's giving you his email address there.
What? Who?
Bobby has. I think he wants to come on. Who are you?
That's fine if he can drop me an email. I did email him, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, we did get his in. There you go. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. Oh, dearie me. There we go.
God, that's so bad.
There you go. There's a question for you. We'll get it out. So, what is your worst Millwall team? We're finishing that. What year was your worst? What was your worst Millwall team? There you go. Get that into us. Yeah, the other ones with the thingy was there was a guy called Kef. I think it was Kef, and the fella went. I called him that for years. No one didn't know why, and then it turned out because he only had one eye, so they took the eye out of Keith, and that's what they called. That's what they called him. And there was like, I'll find it and I'll send it to you in the group. But there was some thingies there. So these are all good questions. See, Bobby, you should have come to us before. Then we could have had these in. So the next international, you see, we're lining up all the contents for the next international show or the next show. So we can do some of these. But I think we're pretty much done. And yeah, it's a good call. Got to have Stephen Phil in there. Oh, there we go. There's another joke. Look, my mate hates his surname Potato, not as much as his wife Jackie does. Oh, there was one spider there was one spider. There was one called Spider because he bought 4 pairs of jeans. Wife told me to get in touch with my feminine side, so I reversed the car entry.
Oh God!
Why don't eggs tell jokes? Because they'd crack up otherwise. Deary me, I like that. I think we're done, ain't we?
Honestly, there is nothing I can add to this. I've got no jokes off the top of my head. There's just nothing working. We've got no Millwall. The quiz didn't work. We're being accused of fixing the results of the winner, and now we've moved on to bad dad jokes.
That's it. Listen, mate. This is content what you will not get from any other Millwall show.
Oh no! Well, I don't listen. This is content you'll get from no show out there. There's no way anyone on a Sunday night is listening to 2 people trying to put a quiz together like the guys in the stream have, or the guys in the chat have now. So
you said dad jokes. Thanks for that. Yeah, no, look, that's it.
Was it? I think it was Dan who said he was at the. It was Dan that said he was at the charity night on Thursday. Yeah. I think it was him that said it. Yeah, if you are, Dan, come say hello. Yeah, come over and say hello.
Yeah, you can't see us, so yeah.
What do you mean you can't see us? He's watching
us.
Well,
no, I said you can see what we look like, so you'll know what we look like when we get there. So yeah.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, as in Dan knows what we look like, but we don't know what he looks like.
Yeah, that's what I said. Dan, come over and say hello.
Yeah, I knew that, but yeah, that joke's bad.
Right,
I've got a Stevie Wonder cheese grater for Christmas. He said it's the most violent book he's ever read.
Yeah, on that note.
On that note, we're all done, mate. Thank you very much for joining us. Remember to subscribe, to like, to comment, to tell your friends, and we'll be back next week. Well, Friday next week, and that will be the Steve and his dad show. Joe Zampa. That's it. We're done. Christ, I think I might have to edit this bit out. But anyway, we're done for another week. Thank you very much for joining us. Speak to you all again real soon.
Hi, guys.
And